West and the East, and good morning in the far West, and a happy new year from the fabulous Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Yes, today from the famous Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Philco Corporation brings you the broadcast of the annual Cotton Bowl New Year's Day Classic. The Longhorns of Texas will face the Volunteers of Tennessee. And today, Philco will also bring you the greatest news of the new year in radio and television for the home. During this 1953 Cotton Bowl broadcast, the new 1953 Philco radio and television sets will be announced, with features and performance far beyond anything ever offered before to the American public. Yes, today you'll learn about the pace-setting new products from the Philco laboratories that you'll see at your Philco dealers in 1953. Superb new radios with a special service band, the first new radio service in years. Spectacular 1953 Golden Grid television sets with Philco advances that bring a new day in both UHF and VHF television. But more of that new day a little bit later. In just a moment here, we're going to hear from the Assistant Director of Sports for the National Broadcasting Company, Lindsey Nelson, who will bring you the play-by-play of this Cotton Bowl broadcast from Dallas here today. This is Bob Murphy speaking, and the stands are filling up here as we look down upon them right now. One of the huge bands was on the field and circling the field as we look down below us. Bands from various parts of the state of Texas that have come here today by virtue of the fact that they won in one of the most exacting band contests we have ever heard about. We saw their rehearsal yesterday afternoon, and it's really something to see. As I said, the stands are filling up. The activity is beginning to be felt up here in the stands. The sky is a little bit cloudy. The temperature is near 60. It really is a wonderful day for a football game. Both teams were out here on the field just a moment ago for their pregame calisthenics. They have now left. And down there on the field, because both teams have identical school colors, we're going to ask, who is that down there? The Vols, is it? Oh, it's Texas down there on the field right now. The Texas band is down there on the field right now giving their pregame demonstrations. By the way, these 5 high school bands that we spoke about a moment ago will give their demonstrations during the halftime, and it really is quite a remarkable spectacle, too. We are facing almost directly east here from our NBC Philco broadcasting booth. The wind is coming out of the southwest today, and it's a pretty stout breeze, too. However, both teams take very seldom to the air. They both play pretty much of a ground game, so the wind is not considered, at least at this moment, to be a very serious factor in what is going to happen here in the next few minutes as the 1953 Cotton Bowl game gets underway. As is a regular feature of many of these bowl games, the end zones are very beautifully decked out today. Chalk lines cut on the diagonal leave diamonds across the end zone. And in one here to our left, we see the letters T-E-N-N, the Tennessee end zone. And down here, of course, to our right, T-E-X-A-S. Just a moment ago, by the way, the new queen of the 1953 Cotton Bowl Festival came in a very handsome coach and 4 and was crowned officially right down here on the 50-yard line in front of our broadcasting booth. She is from the University of Texas, Sally Luck. She will serve as the 1953 Cotton Bowl queen. The flag of the Lone Star State is waving briskly in that breeze that we mentioned a moment ago, directly across the stands as we speak to you here now. And, of course, on the right-hand side in its proper place, the stars and stripes. This really should be a football game here today. You folks who have followed the adventures of Texas and Tennessee in this past season know that they have both come up with wonderful records, and one of them a fine offensive record, and the other one of the strongest defensive teams in the United States. Oh, we can't miss this. The Texas band here is formed, and beautifully formed, too, an outline of the map of the state of Texas. Really beautiful. As I was saying a moment ago, the Texas team with an offensive record that has piled up immense yardage, an average, I do believe, of almost 386 and a half, I believe, are the actual figures per game during this 1952 season, which they've just finished, and the team from Tennessee with an excellent defensive record. If you've been reading the sports pages in your hometown, you know that General Robert Neyland has been ill the last few days. We're all very happy as we look down upon the field here today. General Neyland, of course, being the famous coach, perhaps the most famous coach, the man who has added more innovations to football than any other living American football coach. who is out here on the field today looking very fit and hearty, and certainly will be on the job as the Volunteers from Tennessee take the field here in just a few moments. Ed Price, the Texas coach, a man who was an 8-letter winner at the University of Texas, and certainly one of their illustrious alumni. Down here earlier, it was the boys were out running through their passing drills, their charging drills, and the pregame calisthenics. A young man who has certainly built up a tremendous record here in his first 2 seasons at Texas. He has won the conference championship both years, and nobody can ask for more than that. Speaking again of Texas's remarkable offensive strength, they have an all-conference backfield at Texas this year. All 4 men who played regularly in the backfield made the Southwest Conference all-star team, a record that certainly doesn't occur very often in football. 2 years ago, this very day, and this is the first time the 2 teams have ever repeated in the Cotton Bowl, these self-same teams, Texas and Tennessee, were down here on the field at this very minute getting prepared for the Cotton Bowl football game of 1951. And the gentleman whose name I mentioned a moment ago, Lindsey Nelson, who will bring you the play-by-play, has a little story to refresh the memories of all of us about the stars of that latter year, 2 years ago. So for a little pre-game talk here, and to introduce you, too, to a fine young man you folks heard on the Army-Navy game just a few weeks ago, and who incidentally has confined most of his broadcasting activities this football season to television. I may say that we're here, and we would like to introduce to you the story of what happened here 2 years ago, and also to introduce him to you, Lindsey Nelson, the Assistant Director of Sports for the National Broadcasting Company. Lindsey?
Thanks very much, Bob Murphy. Down below us, before we mentioned the ball game a couple of years ago, let us say that the sportsmanship trophy for the Southwest Conference this year has been awarded to Rice Institute, and the Rice song has been played. The Texas band has gone into a huge block T, which, of course, is for the University of Texas. And as Bob has said, one of the great games of this Cotton Bowl series was played on New Year's Day of 1951, just 2 years ago this very day, when Tennessee met Texas. It was the first meeting in history between these 2 teams, and it was quite a ball game. Tennessee scored first when Harold Payne pitched a 5-yard pass to John Grubel after Hike Lauricella had rambled 75 yards to set up the touchdown. And incidentally, Hike Lauricella is here in this crowd as a spectator this afternoon. In the second quarter of that game 2 years ago, Texas came back to tie the score as fullback Byron Townsend went around left end for 5 yards and a touchdown. Later in the same period, Texas went ahead when Ben Tompkins pitched a 35-yard pass to Gib Dawson, who will be playing for Texas again today. Neither team scored in the third quarter, and then in the fourth period, Tennessee came roaring back to score twice and win the ball game by a score of 20-14. The star of the day was a man named Andy Kozar, Tennessee's pile-driving fullback. Andy is back today. He's here in the Cotton Bowl. However, he is recovering from an injury that he suffered in the Florida game. He will not be in uniform, but will be here, and we hope to have him here in this broadcast booth at halftime today. So this afternoon, we have Tennessee and Texas squaring off once again. And as Bob Murphy has said, this is the first time in Cotton Bowl history that any visiting team has ever been invited to appear in the Cotton Bowl for a second time. During the regular season, Texas went undefeated in Southwest Conference competition, while Tennessee went undefeated in Southeastern Conference competition. However, the Longhorns lost on consecutive Saturdays early in the season to non-conference opponents Notre Dame and Oklahoma. After that, the Longhorns rolled over Arkansas, Rice, SMU, Baylor, TCU, and Texas A&M. Prior to those intersectional games, they had defeated LSU, and they had also beaten North Carolina. Tennessee lost an early season game to Duke University, a non-conference opponent, and the Vols were tied inside their own league by the Kentucky Wildcats. Otherwise, Tennessee defeated Mississippi State, Chattanooga, Alabama, Wofford, North Carolina, Louisiana State, Florida, and Vanderbilt. Texas and Tennessee, as Bobby said, have the very same colors. Both schools use orange and white. 2 years ago when these teams met, Texas wore white jerseys while Tennessee wore their traditional orange shirts. Today, the procedure has been reversed. Today, Texas is wearing orange, Tennessee is wearing white. The Vols have always worn orange jerseys, except for one season that was in 1935 and was one of the most disastrous seasons that Tennessee ever had. After that, they switched back to orange. They have worn orange jerseys every game until this afternoon. General Bob Neyland, the famed head coach of the Vols, who has been ailing, and his doctors would not permit him to return to Knoxville from Florida, where he was resting to prepare the Tennessee team for the game, is here. Harvey Robinson has been the man in charge preparing Tennessee for this ball game as the acting head coach and athletic director. However, the general flew into Dallas Tuesday evening. He's here today. He will be on the bench this afternoon. And now the Texas band, down to our right, which is the south end of the field, is forming into a victory lane where they will stay until the teams come onto the field. The Tennessee band will be on this field very shortly. And so to tell you all about that, here once again is Bob Murphy.
All right, Lindsay, you catch your breath because it promises to be a very breathless afternoon here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. There's 75,504 seats in the Cotton Bowl, and it looks very much as though they're all going to be loaded here in the next 20 minutes before game time because this huge stadium is almost filled right now. Here comes the Tennessee band right now. Lindsay mentioned a moment ago. By the way, we have the unusual situation here of a football team that has a tri-captaincy in the Texas squad this year. They are Richard Ochoa, whose name I think has been mentioned here already by Lindsay. Back, 6'2", 200 pounds, 21 years old. Bill McDonald, the class of 53, who is a center of 6'2", 190 pounds, and Jack Barton, class of 53, a center who 6'1", weighs 205 pounds. And so there is a very unusual situation. Three young men who must be very highly thought of by their fellow players to make room for all of them on this team here this year from Texas. You know, a football game like this famous Cotton Bowl event just naturally reminds you that it's great to have a portable radio to pick up the game, pick up scores, to take along wherever you go. Well, 1953 is bringing you a sensational new personal portable from Philco with the amazing Battery Saver Switch. The Battery Saver Switch plus Philco's long-life batteries means unmatched economy of operation. Gives you many more hours of clear powerhouse reception. But that's just part of the story. This 1953 Philco portable is a real eye-catcher, too, in an inspired new cabinet that comes in a choice of colors. It operates on AC, DC, or batteries, has Philco's MagnaCore aerial, and a special plug-in for private listening. So see, hear, and own the 1953 portable radio with the Battery Saver Switch from Philco, world's largest radio and television manufacturer. Well, here comes the volunteer band now. They're out on the field. As we mentioned a moment ago, both teams have almost identical orange colors as the predominant color of their school. However, we notice the band uniforms down here of the Tennessee group are a little bit lighter, not as dark and orange as those of our friends from Texas. They've made a formation there in the field right now. The big soutaphones well polished up for the occasion. The sun is breaking through the clouds over here to our right, and apparently the weather is moving from the west. And before the game is over today, there will be very little overcast at all, we all expect, and we'll all be working out here in the sun. The ceremonies between now and the time the game begins at 1 o'clock plan to be very impressive, beginning in just a moment here now, according to the scheduled events, which the officials guarantee are going to operate on schedule, beginning with the toss of the coin down here in the center of the field, which is scheduled in just a matter of minutes, followed by the invocation. The Texas band marching around in the center of the field now, forming another figure down there. The public address announcer said something about the Memphis Blues here, and we're trying to figure out what that figure is. And as we look down in the field, over there on the far side where the public transportation comes up, and the parking lot, which yesterday, as we came up here to prepare for this broadcast, was very empty, is now absolutely filled to capacity with automobiles, and a long string of people are marching over here to the Cotton Bowl to see this, the 17th, I believe, renewal of this famous clash. The first time that two teams have ever appeared, the same two teams, I should say, have ever appeared a second time in the Cotton Bowl. This broadcast is being brought to you by Philco Corporation, world's largest radio and television manufacturer. By the way, during the halftime of today's game, we're going to have some very interesting guests on the program. Andy Kozar, the hardest-running offensive fullback that the University of Tennessee has ever boasted, in the opinion of many authorities on Tennessee football teams, is going to be our guest. A young man who could not appear in this contest because of an injury 2 games before the season ended this year, and two very distinguished newspaper men who are appearing here today to cover for their various newspapers. By the way, one of them is the president of the Football Writers Association of America. We pause now briefly for 10 seconds for station identification. This is Bob Murphy again, speaking to you from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. The 17th renewal of the Cotton Bowl Classic from the Cotton Bowl here in Dallas, and great activity is holding forth down there on the field below. Welcome to all of the stations who may have joined us in just the last few seconds. In order to bring you the Cotton Bowl broadcast, we wish to thank the following programs regularly heard in these periods over most NBC stations for relinquishing their time today. Strike It Rich, sponsored by Colgate-Palmolive Pete. Dr. Paul, sponsored by Wesson Oil. Double or Nothing, sponsored by Campbell Soup. Dial Dave Garraway, sponsored by Armour and Company. Bob Hope, sponsored by General Foods. Inside News from Hollywood, sponsored by Hazel Bishop. Life Can Be Beautiful, Road of Life, Pepper Young's Family, Right to Happiness, and Backstage Wife, sponsored by Procter & Gamble. Stella Dallas and Young Witter Brown, sponsored by Sterling Drug. Hear all of these programs at their regularly scheduled time tomorrow. And this, the broadcast of the Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas, is being brought to you by Philco Corporation, world's largest radio and television manufacturer. The Texas Band is down in the field, and they have just completed forming the famous Star of Texas down there. They are now facing the far stands over there, formed in 4 columns wide. Might tell you a little something about these two schools here in the brief moment we have before the invocation, which is due momentarily now. The University of Texas is formed at Knoxville, is placed at Knoxville, Tennessee, a city of 212,000, industrial and agricultural center of East Pennsylvania, at the foothills of the Great Smokies. A member of the Southeastern Conference, and a team, their football team has certainly had a very wonderful record in that conference. The Volunteers, of course, is what they're called. Their band is a 100-piece aggregation. The pride of the Southland. The enrollment down there in Tennessee is around 7,700. Most of them are boys. And the colors of the school, as we mentioned before, are orange and white. The orange is just a little lighter than Texas's color. Tennessee, however, as Lindsey Nelson told you here a few moments ago, will wear white jerseys for this game. And frankly, they're not too keen about it because the one season in their whole history in which they wore those white jerseys, they had a very difficult time. The University of Texas is located at Austin, Texas, a member of the Southwestern Conference, the defending champions right now and winner of the Southwestern Conference for the past 2 years. They call themselves the Longhorns, and they have a mascot, which, by the way, Tennessee does not have. Bevo the Fifth, a shorthorn steer that they led in here just a moment ago and is at a place of high honor over there on the far side of the field as I speak to you right now. Texas is somewhat larger in student body than Tennessee, about 12,500 students, coeducational school, of course, and a fine place for the young ladies, too, because there's about 8,500 young men at the University of Texas. They have a 200-piece band here today. The mascot, Bevo, we told you about, and, of course, the alma mater song is The Eyes of Texas. Well, they're marching. The two bands are marching down to take their places together in the end zone there now. And apparently this little pre-game demonstration of the school bands has just about come to an end, and we can expect the invocation here momentarily. We think that we should have the official lineups as they will go on the field here. So let's turn back again now to Lindsey Nelson, who will bring you the play-by-play, the Assistant Director of Sports for NBC, and those starting lineups. Lindsey?
All right, Bob. Out on the center of the field, we'll have the toss of the coin momentarily. However, we will give you the starting offensive lineups of these two teams, and then we'll give you the defensive lineups as we go along. For the Tennessee Volunteers, coached by General Bob Nealon, using the single-wing offense and wearing white jerseys, at left end, John Davis. He's 6'1", 180, and he is a native of Texas. At left tackle, Dick Mayock. He is 5'11", 200-pounder from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. At left guard, Earl Campbell. He is 5'6", 180-pounder from Elizabethton, Tennessee. At center, Roger Vest. He is 6'1", 200 pounds from Detroit, Michigan. At right guard, John Michaels. He's the captain, 5'10", 195-pounder, an All-American guard from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. At right tackle, Bob Ursery. He is a freshman, 6 feet 3 inches tall, 205-pounder from Raleigh, North Carolina. And at right end, Vic Kolenik. He is 5'11", 180-pounder from Lynchburg, Virginia. At blocking back for Tennessee, Hal Hubbard. He is 5'10", 175-pounder from Lynchburg, Virginia. At wing back, Ed Morgan. He is 6'1", 190-pounder from Hendersonville, North Carolina. At fullback, Ray Bird. He is 6'1", 184-pounder from Knoxville, Tennessee. And at tailback, Jimmy Wade. He is 5'11", 165-pounder from Lynchburg, Virginia. Defensively, the Vols will probably use a basic 6-man line on a 2-2-1 secondary. However, they also may employ a 5-man line in a 5-4-2. For the Texas Longhorns, coached by Ed Price, using the split T offense and wearing orange jerseys. At left end, Gilmer Spring. He is 6'1", 190-pounder from Lufkin, Texas. At left tackle, Buck Lansford. He's 6 feet 2 inches tall, 215-pounder from Carrizo Springs, Texas. At left guard, Don McGraw. He is 5'11", 217-pounder from Abilene, Texas. And now here is the invocation.
O God of hosts, at the beginning of this festival occasion in the Cotton Bowl, we pause to pray that all that is said and done here today may be clean and fine and true, in accordance with the high standards of those like the late Dan D. Rogers, who have given so much of time and talent to make possible this annual event. And at the beginning of this new year, we humbly invoke thy blessing upon us, upon those of our families and fellow citizens on Korean battlefields and elsewhere away from home, upon our strife-torn, chaotic, and embattled world, and upon our nation in the year ahead, that she may continue to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. In Christ's name, amen.
We've just heard the invocation, and very shortly the teams will be coming onto the field. Here is the national anthem. The national anthem played by the combined bands, and very shortly the teams will be coming on. However, we'll continue now with the Texas lineup. At center, Bill McDonald, 6'2", 190-pounder from Orange, Texas. At right guard, Phil Bright, 6 feet tall, 205-pounder from Gaston, Texas. Right tackle, Charles Gentner, 6'2", 215 from Dallas, Texas. And at right end, Tom Stolhansky, 6'2", 210 from Baytown, Texas. At quarterback, T. Jones, 6'1", 170-pounder, Childress, Texas. Left half, Give Dawson, 5'11", 175-pounder from Douglas, Arizona. Right half, Billy Quinn, 5'11", 180 from San Antonio. And at fullback, Dick Ochoa, 6'2", 200-pounder from Laredo, Texas. And Texas will employ a basic 5-man line on defense. Now the teams will be on shortly, and once again to tell you about that, here's Bob Murphy.
All right, Lindsay, the band played a tremendous fanfare there. Incidentally, the Star Spangled Banner was played by the mass bands of both universities. And here they come now. They introduced General Bob Neeland and the great team from the University of Tennessee, the Volunteers. The Texas lads are coming out here now. The Volunteers have still come out from the runway down here. Everybody's looking expectantly over there. The cheer went up, but from the Tennessee Rooters, but as yet they have not appeared. Both bands are lined up, incidentally, so you get the picture here, down on the south end of the field here, so the teams and the coaches can walk between them, or really run between them, because actually that's what they do. General Neeland, being a man who can split many a fine hair when he's playing this game of football, is probably back there using all of the time that is at his disposal. He doesn't leave one stone unturned. Watching them out here on the field today as they went through their pregame exercising and punting and so on. He stands back there right to the last minute giving instructions before the lads went back into the dressing rooms. And now we see them in their unfamiliar white jerseys, the Volunteers walking out on the concrete runway there very gingerly in their spikes. And now you hear the cheer for the Volunteers from Tennessee. Let's listen.
And now introducing
Now both teams are finally out on the field. Right down below us here will be the Texas bench, and on the far side of the field there, in those unfamiliar white jerseys with the orange letters, the Volunteers from Tennessee. This broadcast of the Cotton Bowl Classic is being brought to you by Philco, and to set the pace in portables for 1953, Philco announces a new money-saving feature in a glamorous new power-packed personal portable radio. The cabinet design is new, really inspired, and yours in a choice of colors. You get that rich powerhouse reception that's the hallmark of a Philco radio. And now with this 1953 model that's just off the assembly line, Philco brings you the amazing Battery Saver Switch. This new feature, combined with Philco's extra long-life batteries, brings unmatched economy of operation for longer performance. So get yours at your Philco dealers now. Here is the Tennessee alma mater. And now the Texas alma mater. And that was the famous Texas alma mater, The Eyes of Texas Are Upon You. And, of course, with the preponderance of Texas people here today, the huge cheer went up as they finished. Both bands, incidentally, make a wonderful spectacle down there at the far end of the field. They're now going over to take their places that have been arranged for them on the sidelines so that they can watch this famous Cotton Bowl Classic between the University of Tennessee and, of course, their own Longhorns from the University of Texas. The sun is coming through that overcast now, and as we look over here to our left, the sky is clearing. It looks like we're going to have a real sunny day. The temperature, again, let you know how the weather is down here in the sunny south. It is sunny. It's almost 60 here today. Really a fine day for football. The field is dry. We had rain 2 days ago, but it's in wonderful condition right now. Two teams are beginning to, the starting teams apparently are taking their places out there in the field. So we're going to take 10 seconds now to pause briefly for station identification.
This is WMAQ and WMAQ-FM, NBC in Chicago.
And now to tell you the story of this Cotton Bowl game of 1953, here is the Assistant Director of Sports for the National Broadcasting Company, Lindsey Nelson. Lindsey?
Thanks, Bob Murphy. Down on the field below now. The ball game will be getting underway in just a moment, and Tennessee will kick off and defend the south goal. Texas will receive and defend the north goal. Kicking off for Tennessee will be Ralph Adams. He is a freshman, 5 feet 11 inches tall, 200-pounder from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. He will kick off, of course, from his own 40-yard line. The sun is shining. The Cotton Bowl, a sellout crowd as always. 75,504 tickets to this ball game sold. Fans still coming in, of course. The two deep men for Texas will be Jimmy Pace and Gib Dawson. Jimmy Pace, who started the season as a regular right halfback, is a senior. Gib Dawson also is a senior. Two veterans standing back there in the end zone. The officials, the referee is Alvin Bell of Vanderbilt. The umpire is Bailey McElrath of Centenary. The headlinesman is Bob Caldwell of Mississippi State. The field judge is John Morrow of Texas A&M. And the timer is Al Bushman of Missouri Wesleyan. The two teams are down below now. They are lined up. We are awaiting official kickoff time as referee Alvin Bell is downfield, and the field judge, John Morrow, is standing there as Ralph Adams gets the ball set on the kicking tee. Here comes the field judge over to the sideline. This ball game will be underway momentarily. Ralph Adams waiting now for the referee's whistle. There goes Alvin Bell's hand out. Here comes Adams. The kick is in the air, and the ball game's underway. Hits on the 17, bounce to the 10, taken by Pace on the 7, returns to the 10, up to the 15, along the 19, and he's hit there spinning, and he's spilled finally on about the 15. Adams came downfield to make the tackle along with McCroskey. And the ball is going to be placed down on the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Texas. They have the ball on their own 15-yard line in the backfield for Texas. T. Jones at quarterback, Gib Dawson at left half, Dick Ochoa at fullback, and Billy Quinn at right half. Here they move out of the huddle, up to the line, moving into their T formation. They run from a split T. T. Jones looks up and down the line of scrimmage. Under now, Tennessee moving the defense in close. They're in that 5-4-2 right now. Here is the ball to Jones. He gives a handoff to the right halfback. It's to Billy Quinn. Hits into the line, picks up 2 to the 17, and pushed back. Francis Holohan on the bottom of the sack as he picked up 2. Sophomore Billy Quinn, who played his greatest game right here on this very same gridiron this year, as he came into his own against Oklahoma and held the right halfback berth ever since. 2nd and 8 now for Texas, and they have the ball on their own 17-yard line. Francis Holohan, the defensive captain for Tennessee, and defensive guard was the man who led the pack in there. Here is a flanker. It's Gib Dawson, flanked out 5 yards outside the right end. T. Jones waits, gets the ball this time. He's handing it off. It's to Quinn, going wide to the left, gets up to the 20, across the 20, and on down to the 25-yard line. Mac Franklin came in with Bob Fisher to make the tackle. As the ball was moved up to the 25-yard line, he was run out of bounds, so the ball's going to be brought into the inbounds marker. 53 feet 4 inches from the far side of the field. Moves up to the 25, and it is very, very close to a first down. Less than a yard to go. 3rd and less than a yard to go for Texas as the Longhorns move with Billy Quinn carrying the ball on the 2 plays thus far. Here's the flankers flank 3 yards outside the right end, and that's Billy Quinn. T. Jones gets the ball. Quarterback sneak, moves through, gets to the 30, out in the open to the 35. He's hit on the 35. Finally brought down by Hugh Garner, defensive left halfback from La Follette, Tennessee. And that is the first down of the ball game. 1st and 10 for the Texas Longhorns as T. Jones, the number 1 passer in the Southwest Conference, and he also led the Southwest Conference in total offense, ran the ball himself on the split T right up the middle, moved out to the right, and moved it to the 35. Here they are, T formation. T. Jones in there, gets the ball. Here's the handoff up the middle to Dick Ochoa, across the 40, down to the 43-yard line. Barbish and Moeller, the defensive linebackers, converging to drag him down. As the ball is placed down, it's near the 42, so call it again a 7. Dick Ochoa going up the middle, so it's going to be 2nd down, and about 3 yards to go, and now Tennessee is calling timeout. Tennessee is calling time as Texas has moved for a first down. They have their offense going. The Volunteers want to talk it over.
Well, Lindsay, it's still too early to spot today's football winner, but there's one unquestioned champion that will appear tomorrow at your Philco dealers, friends. It's that unmatched 1953 Philco clock radio. Invest tomorrow in the world's only multi-wave clock radio from Philco. They're coming up to the line again, so back in just a moment here to our friend Lindsay Nelson. Play is about to go in again, so here's Lindsay.
Across the way, the Longhorn Band is playing. Let's listen.
Game number 4.
Texas has the ball, 2nd down, 3 yards to go. They have it on their own 42-yard line, and they're set to go. T. Jones under calling starting signals now. Takes a look around. Now he's back under there. Gets the ball. Here's the handoff going to the right halfback. Billy Quinn hits into the 44-yard line. Hit down on the 44. Bob Fisher and Francis Holohan brought him down to the 44. So it's going to be 3rd down, and it is just short of a first down, I believe. As they get him unstuck, we'll take a look. Alvin Bell, the referee, takes a look over. It's 3rd and 1. 3rd down and 1 yard to go for the Texas Longhorns, wearing their traditional orange jerseys, white numerals, Tennessee, and white jerseys and orange numerals. 3rd down and 1 to go for the Texas Longhorns. They set a new Southwest Conference record for offense this year, one of the great offensive teams in the nation. Here they are up there in the T formation. Tennessee into a 7-man line, a 7 diamond. Here's the handoff, and he's going to give Dawson. Hits in. Very close to a first down. We'll have to wait till they get him unstacked. Bill Barbish, the linebacker, came in. Moose Barbish and Andy Myers on the bottom of the stack. And it's a first down for Texas. The Longhorns have picked up their 2nd consecutive first down. So they have it 1st and 10, and they have it on their own 45-yard line. The Longhorns started on their own 15. They've driven to their own 45. Coming over the ball now, tri-captain Bill McDonald, the offensive center. They're in a T formation. T. Jones, the quarterback. Gets the ball. Here is the handoff, and it's going to Gib Dawson as he cuts out to the right, moves up to the 49-yard line. Hugh Garner came in to make the tackle as Gib Dawson carried the ball to the 49-yard line again. Of course, it's going to be 2nd and 6. The Texas Longhorns moving. In this Texas backfield is T. Jones, the number 1 passer in the conference. He led the conference in total offense. Gib Dawson, the unanimous choice for all conference for the 2nd straight year. Billy Quinn, who led the conference in scoring with 78 points and set a new touchdown record for sophomores with 13. And Dick Ochoa, the leading ball carrier in the Southwest Conference. That's the offensive backfield in there now for Texas. Here is the handoff. It's going to Dick Ochoa. Fires off left tackle and moves up to the 46-yard line of Tennessee. Gene Moeller in to make the tackle with Andy Myers as the ball moved across the midfield strike, and now the Longhorns have moved into Tennessee territory. They're on the 46, again of 5 yards on the plate, so it's 3rd down and a yard to go. The Longhorns have picked up a couple of first downs, and now they're on the Tennessee 46-yard line. They have driven steadily. Tennessee, coming into this ball game, had the number 1 defensive team in the nation. These Texas Longhorns had a great offensive team. They set a new Southwest Conference team in offense, and they have driven from their own 15 to the Tennessee 46. Here they are, up there again in T formation, running from a split T. T. Jones gets the ball, goes up the middle, moves across the 45 into the 44 for the first down. Holohan and Myers in to make the tackle. Holohan and Myers in there to drag him down. It's a first down for Texas. So now the Longhorns have picked up their 3rd consecutive first down, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 44-yard line. T. Jones wedging him out. They call him the comeback kid because he was so late coming along as a T formation quarterback. Under there now. Here is the pitch out. It's going wide this time to Gib Dawson. He gets up to the 44, gained up about a yard to the 43, and Hugh Garner came up from the secondary along with Mac Franklin to make the tackle. So call it again of a yard to the 43, and it's going to be 2nd down and 9 yards to go. This broadcast of the Cotton Bowl game brought to you by Philco Corporation, presenting the world's only multi-wave radio with a special service band. There is no score in the ball game. We're in the first quarter. The sun is shining. 75,504 fans here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. 2nd and 9 for the Longhorns, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 43. They're up there in T formation. Tennessee in a 6-2-2-1 defense. Here's the snap taken by Jones. Pitches out wide. It's going to Billy Quinn on the sweep. Running along the 45. Gets up to the 40. Run out of bounds on the 40-yard line. Doug Adkins, Tennessee's gigantic defensive tackle, finally ran him out of bounds. Adkins, 6 feet 6 inches tall, weighs 240 pounds, from Humboldt, Tennessee. So it's a gain of 3 yards on a wide sweep to the left. The ball carried to the right halfback, Billy Quinn, the sophomore sensation of Texas. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6. 3rd down and 6 yards to go for the Texas Longhorns, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 40-yard line, having driven from their own 15. No score, nothing. First quarter. Texas with a flank right. It is Billy Quinn, flank 3 yards outside the right end. T. Jones gets the ball, fading back for the first pass of the ball game, throws down the middle, and it's complete down to the 31-yard line to Gilmer Spring. Gilmer Spring hit on the 31 by Jerry Hyde. It's a first down for Texas. T. Jones passing to Gilmer Spring, the first pass of the ball game, and it was good for 9 yards and a first down. Jerry Hyde, the defensive halfback for the University of Tennessee, came up to make the tackle, and now Texas is calling timeout. So when players resume, Texas will have the ball first down, 10 yards to go. They'll have it on the Tennessee 31, but time is out now.
Tomorrow you can see it at your Philco dealers, friends. The new 1953 Philco, America's greatest clock radio. It's the world's only clock radio with all the features, plus the first new radio service in years. It's not only a dependable, soothing alarm that lets you go to sleep and wake up to music. A Philco clock radio is your automatic servant, too. Turns on appliances like your television set or the bottle warmer for that 3 a.m. baby's bottle. Yet in addition to all this, a Philco clock radio also brings you the drama and excitement of the Philco Special Service Band. Along with the regular programs, you can tune the frequencies for ships at sea, planes in the air, police calls, forest fire reports. The only clock radio that has it is the new 1953 Multi-Wave Philco. Get yours from an array of sparkling new models from Philco, world's largest radio and television manufacturer. Well, the lads are down in the field, down on one knee, taking a little breather here. Some of them have their helmets off. The Texas boys here almost directly in front of our broadcasting booth, and the defensive unit of the University of Tennessee spread out here down a little bit further to our right. Texas has really come on very strong here in this first quarter. Unofficially, 8 minutes and 45 seconds left to play. Here's Lindsey.
Texas first and 10 on the Tennessee 31. T. Jones has the ball. Here's the pitch out and coming wide is Gib Dawson. Can't go, and he's thrown all the way back on the Tennessee 39 by Mac Franklin. Mac Franklin, defensive left end. 6'1", 190-pounder from Madisonville, Tennessee, came in to throw Dawson all the way back in the 39 for a loss of 8 yards. So it's going to be second and 18. However, there's a handkerchief on the play. Texas was offsides on the play, so now Tennessee has a choice. Do they want to take the offside, or do they want to take the play, in which case the down does count and they lose 8 yards, and the penalty is refused. The penalty wisely is refused because the down counts, so it's going to be second and 18 for Texas, and they have the ball on the 39-yard line of Tennessee, and that is the first loss of the ball game for the Texas Longhorns, who took this ball on the opening kickoff on their own 15. They ran the kickoff back to their 15 from the 7, and then they have driven steadily downfield. Here they are up there, second and 18 on the Tennessee 39-yard line. T. Jones running to the left this time, pitches out to Quinn. It's Quinn on the sweep to the left. He's looking for a receiver. Throws incomplete. It's an incompleted forward pass. As it was the pass going to the left. The right halfback running to the left, looked downfield. Bill Barbish was the man in there on him as he came up, and so rushed badly. The pass did not fall near a receiver, so it is third and 18, and the ball is still on the Tennessee 39-yard line. Across the way, General Bob Nealon of Tennessee in his brown overcoat, gray suit as always, and gray hat, seated on the end of the bench there near the phone. One of the great athletes in his undergraduate days at West Point, where he was a football teammate of Dwight D. Eisenhower. Third and 18 now for the Texas Longhorns, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 39. They have a flanker out to the right this time. That's Gib Dawson, flank 5 yards outside the right end. T. Jones gets the ball, fades back, looks now, and it is Dawson carrying wide to the left as he got the handoff. He's to the 40 and is hit finally on the 37-yard line. Doug Atkins came in to spill him on the 37. A pile up on the far side. The ball will be brought into the inbounds marker. It may be near the 38. If it is, we'll spot it there. It was a variation of the old Statue of Liberty as T. Jones, the quarterback, took it, faded back, handed off to Dawson, the flanker right, who went wide to his left. It's near the 38, so call it a gain of a yard. It is going to be 4th and 17. Godzak is back in single safety. Ed Godzak, a freshman, back in single safety for Tennessee. And coming back to kick now for Texas is Gib Dawson, kicking from the Tennessee 49. Godzak's backing up to his own 5-yard line. Hands outstretched now. Dawson waits, gets the ball, gets the kick away. It is over near the sideline, hitting on the 10, bounding to the 5. Godzak picks it up, fumbles it, picks it up. He's hit on the 4-yard line. A beautifully placed kick by Gib Dawson, hit on about the 12, down to the 10, down to the 5 at the 4. Godzak picked it up, dropped it, picked it up, and it was smothered. McCraw and Gilmer Sprang smothered him on about the 4.5, so to keep it even, we'll call it the 5-yard line as they start this series of downs. First and 10 now for Tennessee as they have the ball for their first offensive try of the afternoon. First down and 10 yards to go, and they have the ball on their own 5-yard line. Huddling back in the end zone. Here they come out of the huddle and up to the line. They're moving into deep punt formation, and back there in deep punt formation is Shires. Pat Shires standing deep, gets the snap now, fumbles the ball in the end zone. He's going to try to run it out. Can't get out, and he is being hit for a safety. Shires hit in his end zone for a safety as Jim Rosser and Pod Price were in there on him, and Texas leads by a score of 2-0. Here was the play in deep punt formation was Pat Shires of Tennessee. Got the pass from center, bobbled it, picked it up, tried to run it out, couldn't get out with it. He was hit back there, and Texas leads in this ball game by a score of 2-0, the first safety of the day. Tennessee will now have a free kick from the 20-yard line. They'll have a free kick from the 20 as the Texas Longhorns have moved out in front here with 7 minutes and 12 seconds remaining to be played in the first period. Coming into this ball game, as you may know, Texas was favored by about 1.5 points, and the Texas Longhorns now lead by 2. This broadcast, of course, brought to you by Philco, and remember, Philco clock radios for 1953 with new history-making low price. Tennessee now will have the free kick from the 20-yard line. Ralph Adams is placing the ball down. The receiving team is in for Texas, meaning that Jimmy Price and Cameron are the deep men along their own 20-yard line. Cameron and Price, the deep men, along the Texas 20. Ralph Adams is placing the ball down on the 20-yard line on the kicking tee. Texas 2, Tennessee nothing. 7 minutes, 12 seconds remaining to be played in this, the first period. Waiting now for the referee's whistle for this free kick from the 20-yard line. Field judge comes over to move the Texas players back from the sideline slightly. Here's the whistle. Here comes Adams forward. Here's the kick. It is a sailor, a spiraling kick that's hitting on the 37. Finally taken on the 30 by Pace. Back to the 35, the 40, and he is spilled on the 43-yard line of Texas. John Michaels of Tennessee in to make the tackle. So it's going to be first down, 10 yards to go for Texas as they have the ball on their own 43. John Michaels, Tennessee's All-American guard and captain, coming in to make the tackle. Texas, of course, with a couple of All-Americans. Tom Stolhansky, a very great end, and Harley Sewell, one of the greatest guards in the history of Texas football. The Longhorns are up there now in T formation. First and 10 on their own 43. T. Jones is in and under. Looking around before calling starting signals. Gets the ball now. Spins, hands it off. It is to Ochoa going up the middle. He is going across the 50, fumbles. However, the whistle may have sounded before he fumbled on the 49-yard line of Tennessee. It's on the 49-yard line of Tennessee, and Texas is in possession. Jerry Hyde came up along with Gene Moeller to make the tackle. The whistle had blown before the ball bobbled away, and so it's across midfield. It's going to be second down and 2. Second down and 2 as the ball is moved just across the 50-yard line into Tennessee territory. Here are the Longhorns up there now in T formation. T. Jones calling starting signals. Texas leading 2-0. Spinning now and handing it off. It goes to Ochoa up the middle, and he picked up a couple of yards. Andy Myers and Doug Adkins on the bottom of the stack. As they get them unstacked, it'll be very, very close to a first down. Picking them off one by one is the referee. He takes a look across to the sideline. They may ask for a measurement, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to bring out the chain to see whether this is or is not a first down. It's on about the 47-yard line, so the chain will be brought out, and we'll see whether Texas has picked up another first down. One of the great offensive teams of Southwest Conference history. The chain is being stretched. It's a first down for Texas. First and 10 for Texas, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 47-yard line. Here they move, snapping out of the huddle and up to the line. T. Jones, the man under. Here's the snap. He takes it this time. He's handing off to Billy Quinn. Quinn cuts across left tackle, moves across the 45 and on down to the 43-yard line. Andy Myers and Doug Adkins in to make the tackle on the 43. Gain of 4 yards on the play. There's going to be second down and 6. Second and 6 for Texas, and they held the ball on the Tennessee 43-yard line. James Carroll T. Jones, the quarterback for Texas, the comeback kid. Called that because he developed belatedly into a T quarterback. He played defensive halfback on the 1950 Texas team. Texas up there in T formation. Tennessee in a 6-2-2-1. Linebacker standing in to make it a 7 diamond in effect. T. Jones gets the ball, spins, handing it off this time to Ochoa, going up the middle across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Bob Fisher and Francis Holohan dragged him down on the 39. Again, a 4 yard, so it's going to be 3rd and 2. The Longhorns eating up yardage as they have moved on to the 39-yard line. Going to be 3rd down and 2 yards to go for the Texas Longhorns. Texas leading by a score of 2-0 by virtue of a first quarter safety. Moon is in the ballgame now offensively at right end for Texas. Howard Moon is in there. Carlton Massey at the other end. Texas up there in T formation. Tennessee with a linebacker standing in a 7 diamond. Here's the handoff, and it's going to Billy Quinn. He cuts across right tackle, moved it down very close to the 36-yard line. Bill Barbichin to make the tackle, and they might have picked up another first down. We can't tell until they get them unstacked. The referee picking them off. A big pile up there as Billy Quinn took the ball, cut off right tackle. And now again they're going to bring out the chain. They're going to bring out the chain to see whether he did or did not pick up a first down. It's being brought out now. The referee, Alvin Bell of Vanderbilt, standing there. Offensive ends coming back in for Texas now. Gilmer Spring and Tom Stolhansky coming back into the ball game. It is not a first down. It's going to be 4th and about a foot to go. 4th and about a foot to go, and call it the 37-yard line. 4th and about a foot. Ed Godzak going back in defensive safety. So here is the question. Texas has the ball. They have it in Tennessee territory on the Tennessee 37. They lead 2-0. Will they kick and play the safe game, or will they gamble and go for the foot on the 37? They're going into deep punt formation. Gib Dawson standing on his, on the Tennessee 47. Godzak is back in safety for Tennessee. However, the play goes to the short man up the middle, and they move it down there for the first down. To the 45-yard line, T. Jones took the ball. Barbish and Muller, the linebackers, converged. However, he took it, carried it in there to the 35-yard line, and that's a first down for Texas. Texas gambling as they snapped the ball to the short man and carried it down there for the first down, and so they have it 1st and 10 on the Tennessee 35. Tennessee has had the ball offensively for only one play in this entire first quarter. They fumble on that in the end zone, and that was the safety, and we have 3 minutes and 37 seconds remaining to be played in the first period. Texas in the T now. T. Jones gets the ball, goes to the left, hands the ball off to Gib Dawson. Dawson moves across the 35 down to the 33. Doug Atkins in to make the tackle. There's going to be second down and 8 yards to go. Doug Atkins, who played in this Cotton Bowl game against Texas 2 years ago as a defensive end. The amazing thing about him is the fact that he is 6 feet 6 inches tall, weighs 240, and high jumps 6 feet 6 inches on the track team. Second and 8 for Texas. The ball on the Tennessee 33. The Longhorns have been great offensively here in the first quarter. Here in T formation. Jones gets the ball this time. Here's the pitch out. Going wide is Dawson, looking downfield for receiver. The passer run, he throws. It is incomplete on the 18. Intended downfield for Tom Stolhansky. Jerry Hyde covering defensively for Tennessee, along with Hugh Garner. So it's going to be third and 8 for Texas as they have the ball on the 33. Tom Stolhansky, Texas' great offensive end, downfield. And Gib Dawson running to his right. He's the left halfback. Look downfield, through the pass. It was the optional passer run. So it is third and 8. Texas with the ball on the Tennessee 33-yard line. Gib Dawson, virtually a unanimous choice for All-Conference for the second straight season. As a junior, he led the conference in scoring with 62 points. This year he got 71. Didn't lead the league because his teammate Billy Quinn got 78. T. Jones gets the ball now. Fading back, looks for a receiver. Can't find one. He's thrown on the 45-yard line. Snowed under. Francis Holohan and Andy Myers. End to spill. T. Jones on the Tennessee 45-yard line. So it is a loss of 12 yards on the play, and it's going to be 4th and 20. 4th down and 20 yards to go, and Ed Godzak is going back into defensive safety for Tennessee. Ed Godzak, at Rostreva Township High School in Pennsylvania, was a teammate of Bert Retchishar, Tennessee's former captain and now star of the Cleveland Browns. When Bert Retchishar came to Tennessee, Godzak went into the Marines. When he got out, Retchishar was through, but on Retchishar's advice, Godzak came to Tennessee. He's a freshman playing safety. Dawson's in deep punt formation. Boots the ball out of there. Gets a good roll as it hits on the 25 and bounds out of bounds. Somewhere between the 20 and 25-yard line. However, there is a flag. Check it. There is no flag. It is simply the official marking the ball out of bounds. It's going to be brought in, put in play. Tennessee will have the ball 1st and 10, and they'll have it on their own 24-yard line. First and 10 for the Volunteers of Tennessee, as they have had the ball only one play offensively in this quarter. They fumbled for the safety that time. We have 2 minutes, 9 seconds remaining to be played in the first period. Texas leading by a score of 2-0 over Tennessee. 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. Jimmy Wade is the tailback in for Tennessee. Ray Bird at fullback. They're the deep men. Here's the snap. It is taken this time by Bird. Hits in there. Fumbles. Texas recovers on the 22. The ball was snapped to Ray Bird, the fullback, hitting in there on the buck lateral series. He bobbled the ball, and Texas has recovered. Clifford Polk of Hanley, Texas, was the man on the ball. Clifford Polk has recovered. Texas has it 1st and 10 on the Tennessee 22. So the Volunteers have had the ball on 2 offensive plays in this quarter. They have fumbled both times, once for a safety, and Texas has recovered now on the 22. The Longhorns out of the huddle now and up to the line. Moving into T formation. In under there is T. Jones, the quarterback. Calling starting signals. Tennessee on a 6-2-2-1. Here's a handoff going to Dick Ochoa. Moves up the middle to the 18-yard line. Pushed back there. Francis Holohan and Andy Myers in there to push him back as he moved across the 20-yard line and inside. The ball is placed on us near the 19. Call it a gain of 3, so it's 2nd down, 7 yards to go. 2nd and 7 for the Texas Longhorns, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 19-yard line. Texas 2 and Tennessee nothing. Tennessee coming into this ballgame, the nation's #1 defensive team. Texas coming into this ballgame, having set a new offensive record in the Southwest Conference. Up there, set to go now. 2nd and 7 on the Tennessee 19. Texas in possession. T. Jones looking around. Calls starting signals. Gets the ball. Goes to the left this time. Gives the ball off. It is going to Gib Dawson. He moves across and gets down to about the 18 and possibly the 17. Francis Holohan in to spill him. As they get him unstacked, we'll spot the ball exactly on about the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 2, so it's going to be 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 5 for the Longhorns of Texas, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 17-yard line. 3rd and 5 for Texas. The sun shining in the Cotton Bowl. 75,504 fans. Tennessee and Texas, both teams having gone undefeated in their respective conferences. Here's Dawson, flanked out 10-yard outside the left end. T. Jones gets the ball now, looks for a receiver. He's going to run it, can't go, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up a yard. Andy Myers and Francis Holohan, the 2 defensive guards, playing in there closely. Drag him down. Here was the play. Dawson, the flanker, went across about 4 yards, stopped there. T. Jones looked for his spot pass receiver, didn't find him, decided to run it, and picked up, well, call it no gain, so it's going to be 4th and 5 as the ball is on the 17-yard line. Might have lost a yard on the play. And now Texas is calling for timeout. Texas is calling for timeout. When players resume, they'll have it 4th and 5th on their own, or rather on the Tennessee 17. And here is Bob Murphy.
All right, Lindsay. Well, the first quarter's almost run out, too. There's just a matter of seconds here before the first quarter is over, this Cotton Bowl contest. You know, friends, in 1953, you can own the world's only multi-wave radio at new low cost. Yes, Philco presents a brand new 1953 Philco radio model. Full powerhouse reception, full Philco special service band, full price, only $24.95. So why settle for an ordinary radio today? Now it costs so little to own a Philco with the added special service band. Tune in the frequencies of ships at sea, planes in the air, civil defense, the amateurs, and many more. Get fascinating reception no other home receiver can give you. Own the newest 1953 Philco multi-wave radio now for only $24.95. See your Philco dealer tomorrow for the latest, lowest cost multi-wave radio from Philco, world's largest radio and television manufacturer. Well, as we look at the big clock down here in the far end of the field, there's only 18 seconds yet to play, unofficially that is, in this first quarter of the Cotton Bowl contest. The Texas team is up to the line. Here again is Lindsey Nelson.
4th and 5 for Texas on the Tennessee 17. They're up there in T formation. Here's a handoff going to Quinn, going wide to his left, running along the 18 to the 15, and going on down to the 11-yard line. Hugh Garner up to spill Billy Quinn as he carried the ball right down to the 11-yard line. 4 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. It's a first down for Texas. 2 seconds, 1 second. And there is the end of the first quarter. The clock has run out. The ball is carried right down to the 11-yard line. It's a first down for Texas. However, the quarter has ended. They'll bring the ball all the way back up to the other end of the field now. And here once again to give you some of his impressions of this great Cotton Bowl Classic, here's Bob Murphy.
All right, Lindsay, and now while we have this brief interval here between quarters, we pause briefly 10 seconds for station identification. We're speaking to you again from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. It's the University of Texas and the University of Tennessee. The first quarter just finished in what has really been a thrilling football game here. Tennessee being driven back and back, but Texas not being quite able to take advantage of the opportunities so far that have been offered to them. However, the ball now rests in about the 11-yard line. Texas has been playing heads-up ball and very strong offensive ball, as was previously expected of this fine Longhorn team, the champions of the Southwest Conference. Down here to our left now, the play resumes, and here again is Lindsey Nelson.
Texas with a flanker. It's Billy Quinn outside the right end. Here's the ball now, and the handoff goes to Dick Ochoa up the middle and moves inside the 5-yard line. Piled up on the 4. Houlihan and Myers came in to spill him as he's piled up right there near the 4-yard line. As they get him unstuck, we'll spot the ball exactly for you. Perhaps it's near the 5 as they pick him off one by one. Call it the 5-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play, so it's going to be second down. 4 yards to go for a first down. 5 yards to go for a touchdown. Texas leading by a score of 2-0, and the Longhorns are driving. Moving now out of the huddle and up the line. Tennessee has moved the defense in now. Under there is T. Jones. They're in the T formation. Here's the handoff to Ochoa. Dives in there for a gain of a yard. Andy Myers came in to spill him on the 4-yard line. So it is a gain of a yard. Third down. 3 to go for a first down. 4 to go for a touchdown. Tennessee, of course, pulling the defense in. And now trainer Mickey O'Brien of Tennessee is racing onto the field as apparently a Tennessee man has been shaken up on the play. A Tennessee man shaken up on the play, and trainer Mickey O'Brien has rushed onto the field. It is Bill Barbish, I believe. Bill Barbish of Cleveland, Ohio, a linebacker, has been shaken up, and trainer Mickey O'Brien of Tennessee has come onto the field, and so time has been taken out here. When play is resumed, Tennessee will have the ball third down. Texas will have the ball third down. 3 yards to go for a first down, 4 to go for a touchdown. Texas leads 2-0. The sun's still shining here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, as the Texas Longhorns have had the ball for all except 2 plays in this entire ball game. Barbish is up on his feet now, getting a hand from the crowd as he is walking around now. He is on his feet. Mickey O'Brien standing there talking to him. Moose Barbish, the Tennessee boys call him. And he's going to stay in the ball game. Barbish is staying in the ball game. And so trainer Mickey O'Brien runs off the field and will be set to go momentarily. Third down and 3 yards to go for Texas, and they have the ball on the Tennessee 4-yard line. This ball game brought to you by Philco for 1953, presenting the lowest price fully automatic clock radio in Philco history.
Resuming play.
The Longhorns driving for pay dirt now. Move up there in T formation. Tennessee moving the defense in close. T. Jones calling the starting signals. Gets the ball. Here is the handoff. It is going to Dawson wide. Across the 5 into the end zone for the touchdown. The handoff was faked to Dick Ochoa up the middle. Instead, it went to the left halfback, Gib Dawson, who swept wide to his right, carried it for the 4 yards, running for the Coffin corner. He was in there for the TD. And now it's going to be Bunny Andrews holding the ball on the extra point, and Gib Dawson will try. Gib Dawson, the Texas jack of all trades, he converted 26 of 30 extra points attempted during the regular season. He tried 3 field goals this year, made all 3 of them. Bunny Andrews of Dallas, Texas, who makes a specialty of holding that ball down on one knee on the 9. Hands out stretch. Here's Dawson's boot. It's up. It's good. The kick is good, and Texas leads by a score of 9-0. And here's Bob Murphy.
Well, that's a pretty commanding lead, at least for the moment, Lindsay. Those extra 3 points, 2 points, I should say, on that safety might conceivably make a great difference, because it does mean that a touchdown won't do it now. They need 2. Of course, as Lindsay has pointed out here, this is a very odd circumstance here. This Tennessee team has only had the ball for 2 running offensive plays, and both of them ended rather disastrously for the Volunteers. Philco Corporation, world's largest radio and television manufacturers, bringing you this game, and here's Lindsay again.
Well, the ball went up into the crowd. They won't return it, and now the officials are standing there pleading with the crowd to return the football. The uproar you hear from the crowd, and now a policeman is climbing up to go up after the football. The crowd is booing him. He is making his way up the aisle. He's outnumbered, that's all we can say. The official standing there, and here comes the ball back into the arena. It just misses, as a matter of fact, falls into the front rows. And momentarily we expect to have a football to play once again. The teams are lined up. They're simply waiting for the ball, and here they come now. The extra point boot by Gib Dawson going high up into the stands, and the fans decided that a la Major League Baseball, they'd keep it for a souvenir. It'll be Tennessee kicking off now, and Texas will receive. The Volunteers get their choice, and they have chosen, because of the wind here, to kick off. And kicking is going to be Adams. Check it. It's going to be Texas kicking off and Tennessee receiving. Hub Ingram will kick off. Now check that. It is Anglin moving over now to kick. Anglin comes forward. Toe meets the ball. A low sailor going all the way into the end zone and out of the end zone. Blocking downfield continuing. However, it's an automatic touchback and will be brought out to the 20-yard line. We'll recap that one for you since there was confusion. Kicking off was Ken Anglin of Texas. It was a low boot that sailed completely into the end zone. A low liner that hit one time in the end zone and scooted right on out. So Tennessee takes up a 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Tennessee has had the ball on 2 plays offensively this afternoon. They have fumbled both times. Once for a safety, and again, Texas recovered and set up their touchdown. Second quarter of the ball game. Texas 9, Tennessee nothing. Jimmy Wade is the tailback in for Tennessee. Bird is the fullback. Here's the ball going to Wade. Cuts off, tackle, sweeps wide to the left, trying to go outside in. Can't go, and he's thrown out of bounds for a loss of a yard. Marvin Leith of Henderson, Texas, in to make the tackle as he ran Wade out of bounds on the 19, so it's going to be 2nd down and 11 yards to go for the Volunteers, and they have the ball on their own 19-yard line. Texas 9, Tennessee nothing. Second quarter of the ball game. The Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. This broadcast of the Cotton Bowl game for Philco is being heard coast to coast over NBC and around the world, while men and women overseas through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Tennessee in a single wing. On the wing is Ed Morgan. Hal Hubbard is the blocking back. Bird is the fullback, and on the tailback is Wade. The ball goes to Bird. Hits in, can't go, picks up 1 yard, and he's piled under on the 20. Petrovich came in to spill him on the 20-yard line. Charles Petrovich, 6'1", 205-pounder from Palestine, Texas. Spilled him on the 20, so it's 3rd down and 10 for the Vols, and they have the ball on their own 20-yard line. That was the first gain of the day for the Volunteers as they picked up 1 yard. Now they snap out of the huddle and up to the line. 3rd and 10 on their own 20 into a single wing formation. Jimmy Wade is the tailback. Ray Bird the fullback. Here is the snap, goes to Wade. He fumbles, picks it up on the 10. He can't go, and he's thrown on the 11-yard line. Bill Georges and Carlton Massey and to spill Wade on the 11-yard line as he fumbled it. And Pat Shires is coming into the ball game for Tennessee. Pat Shires is coming into the ball game for Tennessee as it's going to be 4th down and 19 to go. The Vols have the ball on their own 11-yard line. Shires, the kicker, is coming into the ball game. He is a brother of former Tennessee All-American Abe Shires, former tackle for the Volunteers in the late 30s, who is here in the crowd this afternoon. When players resume, Tennessee will have the ball 4th and 19. They'll have it on their own 11-yard line. Texas leading by a score of 9-0 in the ball game. And what do you think about the situation, Mr. Murphy?
It's like a pretty rough afternoon up to this point for the Volunteers, all right, Lindsay. This Texas team is certainly up, and, well, they might be because in 51 they had the ball game in the bag, as you fans of these two teams might well remember. And in just the last minute of play, it was stolen right from under the Longhorns' nose by these boys from Tennessee. They won the game 20-14 when the lads from Texas had a 2-touchdown lead on them in that 51 meeting. This is the first time again that two teams have repeated here in the Cotton Bowl. And up to the line again comes Tennessee, and here's Lindsey Nelson.
Shires back in deep punt formation, standing on his old goal line. Parkinson and Bob Rayleigh back in double safety for Texas, standing near the Tennessee 45. The snap from center, and Shires gets a kick away. A high, spiraling, booming kick that's coming out, taken on the Texas 49, and it is Rayleigh who is spilled all the way back on the 46. Wig Campbell downfield to make the tackle as Rayleigh spilled him. However, there is a flag on the play. There is a flag on the play. Bob Rayleigh took Shires' kick, and it is a clipping penalty, I believe, against Texas. A clipping penalty against Texas, and if it is accepted by Tennessee, it'll be marked off from the 49-yard line of Texas, which is the spot of the foul. The official standing there now talking to the Tennessee captain. Here's the penalty: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 yards. Clipping. A clipping penalty against Texas, and that moves the ball to the Texas 34-yard line, where it will be first down and 10 yards to go. First and 10 on the kick. The penalty is assessed from the spot of the foul, which was the 49. However, it is first and 10 as the sticks are moved back there to the 34-yard line. Texas up there now in T formation. 6-2-2-1 defense for Tennessee. In and under is T. Jones, the quarterback for Texas. Texas leading 9-0. Here's the handoff, goes to Dick Ochoa. Hits up the middle, moves across the 35 down to the 37-yard line. Bob Fisher and Francis Houlihan in to make the tackle as Dick Ochoa carried to the 37 again at 3 yards. It's going to be second down at 7 yards to go. 2nd and 7 for the Longhorns of Texas. They have the ball on their own 37-yard line.
Second down, 6.
Second quarter, 12 minutes, 37 seconds remaining to be played in the second period. As always, there will be a tremendous halftime show, and we'll have halftime guests here in the Philco booth. T. Jones under now, calling starting signals, gets the ball, goes to his right, hands the ball off to the right halfback. Billy Quinn breaks through across the 40 down to the 45 and on up to the 48-yard line. There's a fumble there. A big pile-up on the 48, and they're getting him unstacked. Billy Quinn carried the ball up to the Texas 48-yard line. However, there is a big pile-up, and Tennessee is recovered. Tennessee has recovered Billy Quinn's fumble on the Texas 48-yard line. So now the Volunteers will have the ball. It is being placed down as Jerry Hyde, the man who recovered. It is being placed down now near the 50. So to start this series of downs, let's call it the 50-yard line. They finally got him unstacked. It was right there near the 50, just inside. Jerry Hyde was the man who recovered the fumble. Billy Quinn did the fumbling. And now Pat Shires is in at tailback for Tennessee. 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. They have the ball on the 50. Moving into single wing formation. Shires back and Bird is in close. Here's the ball taken by Shires, fading, looking for a receiver. Can't find him, and he's being thrown on his own 44-yard line. Pat Shires, looking for Vic Kalinick, who was far downfield, couldn't find him, was thrown on his own 44 as Clifford Polk came in to make the tackle. Clifford Polk from Hanley, Texas, came in to make the tackle, and Tennessee is calling timeout. A loss of 6 on the play, so it's going to be second down, 16 yards to go when players resume. And again, the Volunteers are calling for timeout, and it's time in for Bob Murphy.
A spectacular new Philco clock radio at a sensational new low price. That's the New Year's news your Philco dealer has for you, friends. For 1953, Philco presents the lowest priced, fully automatic clock radio with timed appliance outlet. The price? Just $29.95. That's full price for this brand new, fully automatic Philco clock radio. Go to sleep and wake up to music. Let your Philco turn on the television set, the coffee percolator, the baby's bottle warmer, or any other appliance. Get that famous Philco Powerhouse reception, too, all at the history-making low price of $29.95. Been wondering what to do with that Christmas cash? Well, here's a great gift for you at a price that's mighty pleasant. Get the new 1953 Philco clock radio. It's fully automatic, has a timed appliance outlet, costs only $29.95 from Philco. Here's Lindsey Nelson.
Second and 16 for Tennessee. They have the ball on their own 44. Shires is deep now. Instead, he hands the ball off to Bird. He hits up to his own 49. On the tailback, fullback reverse series, the ball has been moved up by the fullback Ray Bird to the 49. Petrovich and Polk in to make the tackle. Here's a score at the end of the first period. Mississippi 7, Georgia Tech nothing in the Sugar Bowl. Ball is moved back to the 49, so it's going to be third down now and 11 yards to go for Tennessee. Third and 11, they have the ball on their own 49. Texas leading by a score of 9-0. And this the second period. 11 minutes, 12 seconds remaining to be played. Tennessee up there, single wing formation. It's Morgan on the wing, Hubbard the blocking back, Bird is the fullback, and Shires is deep. The ball is taken by Shires, standing in there, spinning out on the naked reverse to the left. Can't go, and he's still back on the 43-yard line. Shires took the ball on the reverse pivot. He came out running to the left, to the weak side. No blockers out there, and he's spilled on the 43. Jim Rosser. Pod Price in to make the tackle on the 43, so it's a loss of 6, and it's going to be fourth down now and 17. Fourth and 17 for Tennessee, and they have the ball on their own 43. Moving back in double safety now for Texas is Rayleigh and Ingram. Rayleigh and Ingram. Back in double safety is Pat Shires. Goes into deep punt formation for Tennessee. Standing on his own 31. Rayleigh and Ingram are on their 20-yard line. Shires gets the boot away. A short high boot that is coming over to the right side of the field, hitting on the 36, bounding now to the 30. On down to the 35. They're going to let it go, and it's rolling down to the 21, and finally drops dead on the 20-yard line. John Michaels and Whig Camel standing over the ball as it dropped dead on the 20, so it'll be first down and 10 yards to go now for Texas. The Longhorns will have the ball on their own 20-yard line. Texas leading by a score of 9-0 in this Cotton Bowl game, brought to you by Philco for 1953. New colors, new models, new values in the world's only multi-wave radios with special service band. Up there set to go now, the Texas Longhorns. T. Jones calls starting signals. Gets the ball, slides to his right, hands it off to Billy Quinn, the right halfback. Hits in, picked up a couple of yards to the 22. Francis Holohan came in to make the tackle, so it's going to be second down and 8 yards to go.
Brought down by Holohan.
Second and 8 for Texas, and they have the ball on their own 22-yard line. They lead in the ball game by a score of 9-0. The offensive backfield for Texas: T. Jones, Gib Dawson, Dick Ochoa, and Billy Quinn, one of the finest quartets ever to perform in the Southwest Conference, as they have demonstrated amply here this afternoon. Here's the ball now, going this time to Gib Dawson, the left halfback. Cuts across the 25 and moves the ball on across to the 27-yard line before Doug Adkins came in to spill him again at 5 yards. It's going to be third and 3. Third down and 3 yards to go for Texas. The Longhorns wearing orange jerseys. Tennessee wearing white jerseys this afternoon. In 1935, Tennessee wore white jerseys throughout the season. They won 4 games, they lost 5. They have worn orange until this afternoon. Third and 3 for Texas on their own 27. This time the ball is going to fullback. Dick Ochoa cuts across, gets to the 28. He's thrown back there by Roger Rotroff from Cincinnati, Ohio. Thrown back on the 28. So it's going to be fourth down and 2 for the Longhorns. And I believe they're sending in their kicking team now. Texas getting set to boot that ball out of there. 4th and 2 on their own 28, and they're leading by 9 points. Ed Godzak, the freshman, will go back in defensive safety for Tennessee. This is a charge timeout against Texas. A charge timeout as they got the kicker in there. General Bob Nealon of Tennessee sitting across the way on the bench in his overcoat. Farmer Johnson and Harvey Robinson, assistant coaches, up and along the sideline. Back in deep punt formation now is Bob Rayleigh to kick from his own 15-yard line. Godzak of Tennessee is on his own 30. Here's the pass from center. Godzak boots it out of there. A high kick that is coming right down and hitting on the 31. Bounds back to the 25. They're going to let it go, and it is being down on the 23-yard line of Tennessee. So the Volunteers will take over 1st and 10, and they'll have the ball on their own 25-yard line as it's finally brought into the inbounds marker. Call it the 25. So Tennessee with the ball 1st and 10 on their own 25. A Tennessee man was shaken up back downfield, and trainer Mickey O'Brien has come out of the field to lead him off. Tennessee man shaken up at the line of scrimmage, and it is Hugh Garner. Hugh Garner was shaken up down there near the line of scrimmage. Is being led off under his own power by Mickey O'Brien. So Tennessee has the ball offensively. 1st and 10 on their own 25. Pat Shires is the tailback. Ray Bird is the fullback. Hal Herbert at blocking back, and Ed Morgan is on the wing. The Volunteers running from a balanced line, single wing formation. Starting signals call now. Texas in there playing an 8-3. Ball is taken by Shires. The penalty flag on the play. Shires can't get rid of it. It's being thrown back on the 16-yard line. Bill Georges came in to spill him on his own 16. However, there's a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage. Shires looked for a receiver downfield. It was Tex Davis for whom he was looking. He didn't find him and was thrown by a host of orange jerseys. However, back at the line of scrimmage, there is a penalty. It is against Texas. Texas offsides on the play. Doubtless Tennessee will accept this one. Here's the penalty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards against Tennessee. Offsides against Texas. The ball moves up to the 30. It's first down and 5 yards to go. First and 5 for the Vols. They have the ball on their own 30-yard line. Texas 9, Tennessee nothing. 8 minutes, 36 seconds remaining to be played in this, the second quarter of the ball game being played in the sunshine before 75,000 fans in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Tennessee snapping out of the huddle up to the line. Shires is deep, and Ray Bird is the fullback. Texas now playing a 5-3. Here's the ball to Bird, the fullback. Moves up the middle, gets across the 30, down to the 32-yard line. Charles Petrovich and Marvin Leith in to make the tackle on the 32. So it's going to be second down and 3 yards to go for Tennessee. Needless to say, the Vols have not picked up a first down in this ball game this afternoon. Had the ball only 2 plays offensively in the first quarter. Fumble both times, one for a safety and the other to set up a touchdown. 2nd and 3 now for Tennessee, and they have the ball on their own 32-yard line. Single wing, formation right, balanced line. Texas moving back now into that 7 diamond defense as they've been shifting it. Shires is back. Bird is in close. Shires gets the ball. Fakes, goes to the weak side, looks downfield for receiver, throws a long one that is incomplete and knocked out of bounds on the 44-yard line. Tex Davis, the man for whom it was intended. Paul Parkinson, the defensive safety for Texas, batted it out of bounds. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 for Tennessee on their own 32. Shires pitching for Tex Davis. He's a native of Texas, played at Paris Junior College in Paris, Texas. Came here to the Cotton Bowl 2 years ago. He saw the ball game. He saw Tennessee beat Texas. He went home with them. He went to Knoxville. He became a regular on the Tennessee team. He is back here in the Cotton Bowl. Dallas, Texas, his home state, again this afternoon. 3rd and 3 now for Tennessee, and they have the ball on their own 32-yard line. Paul Parkinson, playing defensive safety, was injured earlier in the year, and Bill White had finished the season as defensive safety. This afternoon, Parkinson from Baytown back in there. Okay, Tennessee now up there in single wing. Formation right. Pat Shires is the tailback. Gets the ball this time. He's handing it off to fullback Ray Bird. Can't go. He's thrown for a loss back on the 25-yard line. Carlton Massey, the man who got him by 1 foot, back on the 25-yard line. Bird tried to get up and run. However, he had been down there, and it's a loss of 7 yards. So it's going to be 4th down and 10 yards to go. You know, coming into this game this afternoon, Tennessee was the #1 defensive team in the nation. However, Texas has looked great on defense this afternoon. Texas has had a great defense, and they've had an equally great offense. Back in deep punt formation now is Pat Shires to boot from his own 14. Bob Rayleigh back in single safety for Texas on his own 36-yard line. Hands outstretched. Shires waits on his own 14. Gets the snap from center. Boots it out, coming up across the 50-yard line. Hitting on the 47, across the 45. It's taken on the 40 as a fumble. Tennessee recovers on the 35-yard line of Texas. Paul Parkinson took the ball on the 40, was hit immediately right there. There was a fumble. Ussery made the tackle. John Michaels recovered the ball for Tennessee, and the Vols take over 1st and 10. They have the ball on the Texas 36-yard line. So Tennessee, for the first time this afternoon, is in Texas territory. They have the ball 1st and 10. They have it on the Texas 36. John Michaels was the man who recovered the fumble. Tennessee is calling timeout, and now a few appropriate comments from Bob Murphy.
Well, this is a hard-tackling, hard-blocking football game, as you can see. The tackling on the part of the Texas team has really been terrific here, and Tennessee, with that strong defensive record, is certainly showing now what they've been doing all season, especially on that last play there. Philco Corporation is bringing you the broadcast of the 1953 Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas, Texas. A new value for the new year, too, from Philco. At your Philco dealers soon, see America's lowest-priced, fully automatic Philco quality clock radio with a timed appliance outlet. The price is only $29.95. Yes, for 1953, Philco brings you the greatest value yet in a clock radio. Fully automatic lets you go to sleep and wake up to music. Turns your TV set on and off or any other appliance. Powerhouse Philco reception, too, yet the price is only $29.95, the lowest price in Philco history for a fully automatic clock radio with a timed appliance outlet. Visit your Philco dealer tomorrow, friends. See how little of your Christmas cash it will take to own this top-performing clock radio. It makes its bow for 1953 for $29.95 at your Philco dealers. And here again comes Tennessee, and here's Lindsey Nelson.
Tennessee, 1st and 10 on the Texas 36. Jimmy Wade is in at tailback now for the Volunteers. Starting signals being called. The ball goes instead on the buck lateral series to the fullback. It is Ray Bird hitting into the line, moves across the 35 and down to the 34-yard line. Jim Rosser came in to make the tackle. Jim Rosser came in to make the tackle for Texas as the ball moved to the 34. Again, at 2 yards on the play, so it is second down and 8 yards to go. Second and 8 now. Second down and 8 for Tennessee, and they have the ball on the 34-yard line. It is Schwanger in at fullback for Tennessee. Schwanger is the fullback, and Wade is the tailback. Here's the snap taken this time by Wade. Penalty flag goes down. Wade can't get away, and he's thrown back on the 43-yard line. Penalty flags all over the field. Jimmy Wade attempting to go to his left, hit by Don Miller and Harley Sewell. Harley Sewell, Texas great All-American. Wade couldn't go and was thrown for a loss. And now captains are being called up for a consultation. The line of scrimmage was the 34-yard line. Wade took the ball and was hit back on the 44, his own 44. It would be a loss of about 10 yards.
On the last play,
Tennessee was offsides, and the penalty has been refused.
Longhorns, offside.
Let's check it.
Offsetting penalties.
Check it. Offsetting penalties. Offsetting penalties. There is no penalty as both teams were offside, so the ball is being placed down again. And it's going to be second down and 8 yards to go for Tennessee. Second and 8. The down remains the same as both teams were offsides, offsetting penalties. Tennessee now. Single wing to the right. Schwanger the fullback. It goes instead to Jimmy Wade. Cuts up the middle, gets across the 30, down to the 25, down to the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Carlton Massey finally pulled Jimmy Wade down as he took the ball. A half spinner, he faked the ball to the fullback, cut right up the middle and moved the ball down to the 19-yard line. And it's the first time this afternoon the Tennessee fans on the far side of the field have had a chance to cheer. Colin Monroe and Williams in there offensively now for Tennessee at tackles. First and 10 for the Volunteers, and they have the ball on the 19-yard line of Texas. Texas leading by a score of 9-0. 6 minutes, 3 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the ball game. Ted Schwanger, the fullback. He's a freshman. Jimmy Wade, the tailback. Here they are, in and under now. Starting signal is being called. It is taken this time by Jimmy Wade. Cuts off tackle to the right, picks up about 1 yard as the Texas defense came in to smother him on the 18. Hugh Reeder on the bottom of the stack. And Harley Sewell also in there. So it's going to be second down and 9 yards to go. Jimmy Wade, the tailback, who just made the longest gain of the day for Tennessee, is the man who was the star of the Tennessee-Alabama game. He's a sophomore. Was used last year exclusively as a defensive safety man. Was used this year as an offensive man. And here's a penalty against Tennessee. A penalty of 15 yards. Illegal use of hands and arms against Tennessee. Illegal use of hands and arms. He's going to move the ball back to the 32-yard line. The down will remain the same. First down for Tennessee as it is on the 32-yard line. First down and about 24 yards to go for Tennessee as they have the ball on the Texas 32-yard line. Single wing, formation right, balance line, 7 diamond defense for Texas. Jimmy Wade, the deep man for Tennessee. Ted Schwanger is the fullback. Schwanger gets it spinning, he hands it off to Wade. Wade looks downfield for receiver, throws out to the right. It is incomplete, batted down on the 5-yard line, intended for Vic Kalinick. Paul Parkinson, the man who batted it down. So it's going to be second down and 24 yards to go for Tennessee as they have the ball on the Texas 32. You know, both of these teams have had a host of outstanding stars in past years. Texas All-Americans have been Malcolm Cutner, Chal Daniel, Joe Parker, Herb Bechtold, Bobby Lane, Dick Harris, Bud McFadden, Don Manasco, Bobby Dillon, Harley Sewell, Tom Stolhansky. Great ball players who have gone before at the University of Texas. Pat Shires is now coming to the ballgame at tailback for Tennessee. Jimmy Wade is out. Pat Shires is in at tailback for Tennessee, and they're going formation left. Second and 24 for Tennessee on the Texas 32. Formation left for the first time this afternoon. Ball is taken this time by Shires. Fading, can't find a receiver, being thrown for a loss all the way back on his own 45-yard line. Harley Sewell throwing Shires on the Texas 45-yard line. Harley Sewell, Bill Georges in to smother him, as that is a loss of about 13 yards on the play. And it's going to be third and about 37. Shires took the ball, stepped back a couple of paces to look for a receiver, and was smothered. Tex Davis was the man downfield, would have been the primary receiver. However, he was smothered by Harley Sewell, who came through there to smother Shires, as the Texas line has been doing this afternoon. Third and 37 on the Longhorn 45 for Tennessee. Single wing formation right. Ball is taken by Shires, running to his right, looks for a receiver, can't find him again. He's smothered back on his own 47-yard line. Bill Georges, the man in to spill him. The referee picks the ball up, places it on the 48. Vic Kalinick would have been the man downfield. However, Shires didn't have a chance to see him as the orange jerseys of Texas came in to smother Shires. A a loss of 7 more yards. So it's going to be now 4th and 44 for Tennessee as the Texas Longhorns have driven them steadily back, and Pat Shires goes into deep punt formation. Bob Rayleigh in single safety for Texas on his own 14. Shires kicking from his own 39. Hands out stretch, gets the snap, boots it out of there. Coming down the middle, Rayleigh signals for a fair catch and takes it on the 21. So Texas will take over 1st and 10 on the Texas 21 as Bob Rayleigh signaled for the fair catch and took the ball right there. The Orange Bowl at Miami, Florida at the end of the first quarter. Alabama 7, Syracuse 6. And this ball game at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas leading Tennessee by a score of 9-0 with 4 minutes, 15 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. Here is Texas moving up there in T formation. T. Jones, the quarterback. Calling starting signals. Gets the ball this time, and it's going to Dick Ochoa up the middle, out across the 25, the 30, and up to the 34-yard line. Bill Barbich finally pulled Ochoa down. As he raced right up the middle, the ball is being placed back on the 32, and there's a penalty flag on the play. A penalty flag on the play at the 25-yard line. Illegal use of hands and arms against Texas, so that gain will be nullified. Dick Ochoa moving the ball right up the middle. However, it's a penalty against Texas. Assessed from the 25, it's a 15-yard penalty for illegal use of hands and arms, and that's going to put the ball back on the 10-yard line.
Illegal use of the hands.
So the ball goes back to the 10-yard line, making it an overall loss of 11 yards. So it's going to be 1st down and 21. The down remains the same. The penalty assessed from the spot of the foul, which was the 25. Line of scrimmage was the 21, an overall loss of 11 yards. So call it 1st and 21 on the Texas 10. Texas leading by a score of 9-0 in this, the second quarter. Here's a flanker, Billy Quinn, split 5 yards outside the right end. T. Jones gets the ball. It's going to Gib Dawson wide to the right. Gets across the 10. Running along the 12, gets away from the tackler there, across the 15, finally spilled on about the 18-yard line. Bob Fisher finally spilled him outside, out of bounds on the far side of the field. It's brought into the inbounds marker, 53 feet 4 inches from the far side of the field, put down to the 18-yard line. Bobby Bringle is coming to defensive safety now for Tennessee. Bobby Bringle is in at safety. Ed Godzacki's out. Gain of 8 yards on the play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 13 for Texas, and they have the ball on their own 18. 3 minutes, 43 seconds remaining to be played in this, the first half. We'll have halftime guest and a tremendous halftime show here. Texas up there, set to go now. Here's the ball, and it is going to T. Jones. He fakes, throws a long pass out to the left, and it is incomplete. Incomplete on the 48-yard line. Bobby Bringle had the ball in his hands, dropped it. Gilmer Sprang picked it up on the first bounce. However, it goes incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd down now and 13 for Texas. A long pass. T. Jones faking beautifully to Ochoa, who went up the middle. Went back to throw up to the 48. So now it's going to be 3rd and 13 for Texas. They have sent in the kicking team, meaning they're going to play it safe. As they have the ball on their own 18-yard line, they have a 9-point lead. We are late in the first half of the ball game. Paul Parkinson is in defensive safety for... check it. Going back to kick is Bob Rayleigh for Texas, and in single safety for Tennessee is Bobby Bringle. Rayleigh's going to kick from his own 5. Bringle's on his own 40. Hands out stretch now. Bob Rayleigh for Texas gets the ball, boots it out of there. A high booming kick that comes across the 50, hits on the Tennessee 40, is bounding along the sidelines and out of bounds right near the 40-yard line. And as the ball is brought into the inbounds marker, in order that our stations across this nation and around the world may properly identify themselves, we pause 10 seconds for station identification. Tennessee with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. We have 3 minutes, 35 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the ball game. Texas leading by a score of 9-0. Tennessee moving into formation left. The tailback is Jimmy Wade. The fullback is Ted Schwanger. On the wing is Ed Morgan. Hal Hubbard is the blocking back. Here's the snap now. It is taken by Schwanger. Spins, hits into the line, moves across the 40, builds his way on up at the 45 and all the way to the 50, down to the 49-yard line of Texas. Ted Schwanger, the freshman fullback, pulling his way across the 50 to the 49 for a first down for Tennessee. Bob Rayleigh coming up with Paul Parkinson to make the tackle. So it is 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. That's Ted Schwanger, 6 feet 2 inches tall, 185-pounder from Sandusky, Ohio. A freshman fullback moved the ball inside Texas territory. That's the first time Tennessee has moved the ball inside Texas territory under their own power. They recovered a fumble there, but this is the first time they've carried it across. Formation left once again. Jimmy Wade is the tailback. Schwanger the fullback. Spinning, it is Schwanger handing to Wade. He can't go, and he's thrown for a loss back in his own 46. Carlton Massey spilled him back there along with Clifford Pope. It's put down on the 45, so it's a loss of 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 16. Second and 16 for Tennessee, and the Volunteers have the ball on their own 45 as that Texas defense came sifting through once again. Schwanger spinning, handed the ball off to the tailback, Jimmy Wade. The Tennessee ends are John Tex Davis and Vic Kalinick. The backs are Ed Morgan, Hal Hubbard, Ted Schwanger, and Jimmy Wade. Texas now in a 7 diamond. Linebacker standing in to make it an 8-3. Ball is snapped this time to Wade, cuts up the middle, spinning, gets up to the 50, and is finally brought down by a host of tacklers on the 50-yard line. Price and Sewell leading the pack. So it's going to be now 3rd down and 11 yards to go for Tennessee as they have the ball back to the 50-yard line. The Texas defense this afternoon has been nothing short of phenomenal. And, of course, their offense early in the ball game was moving steadily downfield. They lead by a score of 9-0. With 1 minute 51 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the ball game. Single wing formation right for Tennessee. Texas now shifting one linebacker outside the left end. Here's the ball snapped. It is a reverse to Morgan. A fumble back near the 40-yard line, but there's a handkerchief on the play. The penalty flag is down. The penalty flag is down as it was the reverse to Morgan. He was thrown back on his own 41-yard line. And now the officials checking once again. The ball is placed down there. Here are offsetting penalties. Illegal position or procedure for Tennessee, which means that they pull too quickly on the reverse play. And for Texas offsides, they are offsetting penalties, so the ball goes back to the 50. 3rd and 11, and Pat Shires has come in for Tennessee along with Ray Bird. Shires in at tailback for Tennessee. Bird is in at fullback now. 3rd and 11, offsetting penalties on the last play. Texas offside, Tennessee illegal position or procedure, and Tennessee goes into deep punt formation. On 3rd down, Shires is on his own 39. Texas sending Raley back in single safety. Shires boots, a high spiraling kick. Raley signals for a fair catch on the 15. Or rather signals a man away, I suppose. Lets it go, and it's bounding down to the 10-yard line. It is rolling, and it's going to drop dead on the 9-yard line. Raley was waving, and we thought he was signaling for a fair catch. He was waving a teammate away from the ball. He let it hit, and it went down to the 9-yard line. John Michaels and Earl Campbell were down covering, so Texas will have the ball 1st and 10. They'll have it on their own 9-yard line. Raley, with his hand up in the air, was signaling and apparently was waving a teammate away from the ball, meaning don't take it, let it go. And so it went down to the 9-yard line where Texas has the ball. 1 minute, 23 seconds to play. And this the first half of the game. Texas leading by a score of 9-0. Now the Longhorns going to deep punt formation. Standing back in the end zone is Gib Dawson. Godzak is in single safety for Tennessee. However, the ball goes up close to T. Jones. He is handing it off to Billy Quinn. Quinn hits it to the line and moves it up to the 14-yard line. Houlihan came to spill him. Again, a 5 yards on the play, so it's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 for Texas as the ball went to T. Jones, the quarterback. He went right, slid down the line, handed it off to Quinn. Billy Quinn hit into the line to pick up 5 yards. Earlier in this ball game, Texas, similarly, in deep punt formation, used the quarterback, T. Jones, hitting in there himself to pick up a vital 1st down. 33 seconds, and this may be the last play of the first half coming up. 2nd and 5 for Texas. They have the ball on their own 14. Longhorns up there now in T formation. T. Jones, the quarterback, takes a look around. Still calling starting signals. A high count. Gets it this time. Is handing it off to Ochoa, moving up the middle across the 20-yard line. Still going down the 25, the 26-yard line. Jerry Hyde came in to spill him. Ochoa moving in there across the 25 and up to the 26. It's a 1st down for Texas. 1st and 10, and they have the ball on their own 26. And now Texas is calling time to stop the clock. We have 8 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. Texas has called time, so it's timeout for Texas, time in for Bob Murphy.
All right, Lindsay, 1953 is going to bring brand new experience for music lovers, made possible by a triumph of tonal research in the Philco laboratories. Philco has perfected the True Harmonic reproducer, and it's yours now in the new low-cost Philco table radio phonograph. The True Harmonic reproducer is a special phonograph pickup that reproduces the full range of harmonics for the first time. It reproduces the character of every instrument, every voice, brings you record reproduction never before achieved on a table radio phonograph. It's yours for 1953 in Philco's table radio phonograph that also plays all records automatically. You'll enjoy Philco's far-advanced multi-wave radio top and its special service band, too. So see your Philco dealer tomorrow for a thrilling demonstration of the world's only table radio phonograph. All right, Lindsay, last play of the half.
1st and 10 for Texas on their own 26. Jones gets the ball, fading back now, looking for a receiver, and he's going to run it. He's up to the 25, still hard on the 26-yard line. 1 second to play in the first half, and there is the end of the first half. Gene Moeller came in to make the last tackle as T. Jones ran it out to the 26 just at the end of the first half of the ball game. And so the score at the end of the first half as the teams leave the field is Texas 9, Tennessee nothing. There'll be a tremendous halftime show. We'll have guests here in the booth to tell you all about that. Here's Bob Murphy. Bob?
All right, Lindsay, and a wonderful first half. Lindsey Nelson. Well, that's the story, as Lindsay mentioned just a few seconds ago. It's 9-0, and Texas, the team that had victory stolen right from beneath its grasp here 2 years ago in the last minute of play against this self-same Tennessee team, came on very strong here in the first half, completely dominated the first quarter, and although Tennessee did come back to life in the second quarter, came through with a 9-0 lead. Gib Dawson scoring from a few yards out on a run around right end for the touchdown. The point was kicked, and of course, Tennessee was caught in their own end zone. During time